Hi there YouTubers and 3D Studio Max lovers. In today's episode we're going to discuss on how to transform your 3D model, in this case a roof tile that you're going to see here, into a texture. Why you need to know how to do this? Because sometimes having a very huge 3D model, it makes your 3D Studio Max move very slow. So using a texture which has a displacement, you can fix that and you can apply that texture on any type of surface. So this type of technique that I'm going to teach you today is very helpful, and yeah, you guys are ready, let's jump in. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm just gonna save this. I'm just gonna save this Terra Rosa in here. Now I'm just gonna open this and resave it as a JPEG. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to a new 3D Studio Max. I'm gonna reset this. Okay, and now I'm gonna go to customize unit setup and check I'm in millimeters and the system is in millimeters, so it's everything fine. Now I'm gonna go to the top and using the end drop reference, I'm just gonna add that texture in here, and I have it. This is my texture, as you can see. I'm just gonna rotate all of this 90 degrees into the plan so I can work on the plan. And yeah, this is my texture and this is my object. So what I need to take in consideration is the fact that this needs to be the dimensions that I talked. It's here 410 by 180. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create here a rectangle of 410 by 180, 410 by 180, and this is the size. As you can see, the size of this tile is not the same size as this, so I'm gonna scale this down just to see where is the problem coming. And yeah, fortunately it is what it is. What I can do, I can scale everything like this, and now I think it's correct. And now I'm gonna start creating my 3D model, and to do that I'm just gonna use a plane, and I'm gonna add this plane in here like this, and to this plane I'm gonna add, and this with Alt X I can see through. I'm gonna take the grid out, I'm gonna add my edges in here, and now I will apply an editable poly to this, and I'm gonna take these corners and move them up. And as you can see in here, it says that the distance between the wood slats, so these are sitting on some wood slat, it's 16 centimeters. Just gonna create one of these wood slats in here. I'll just make it 220 by 30. Just gonna rotate this 90 degrees, and I'm gonna rotate all of this again 90 degrees. And then I'm gonna just change the height of all of this. Maybe you are wondering why do I need to make this here. Is because these wood slats, these tiles are actually sitting on these wood slats, so in this way I'm gonna know how to arrange them. This is 160 between them. This means that it's one wood slat is sitting like this, because these are actually sitting one on top of each other, and you will understand soon what I'm talking about. Just add here a couple of them. And now taking in consideration that probably the height or the thickness of this is around 1 centimeter, so around shall apply a shell to it, and I will make this one 15, well maybe 10, I have no idea. Probably these are sitting something similar, and these are actually, it's one like this, and the next one is going underneath, probably like this. So to have everything perfect, I need to apply an array, and I need to add also on Y a couple of them. Okay, and now I have two of them, but I need the second one to go under. So to do that I need to change, so I need to have them somewhere here. So to be exact, I'm just gonna make a small change to this one, apply an editable poly in here, and here just gonna add this, because these are actually sitting, the detail is not really like that, but they are actually having here like a small detail like this. So they're actually sitting on this, and here they have two holes, and you put a nail and you yeah, keep them in there. So now I'm gonna add the second one, and as you can see, it's not going exactly in the right place, so I'm just gonna change that by doing this. And another thing that I need to do, go to the transform, and to add a rotation in here, and then on the z-axis. And the only problem that I need to fix is here, these two, they are intersecting. So okay, I'm just changing the powder amount, so I'm just gonna make it 8.3, so I'm not gonna have any intersection in there. Actually, I can add the shell at the end. The shell and editable poly, I can add them on top. Okay, now I will just add more. Not total dimension. Now, yeah, depends also on how big I'm going to make this, but okay. Okay, and now I will add a chamfer. And this, make this 2. And another thing that I will add in here is an UV map. And I will go with this as a box. And real world map size. And for the material and textures, I'm going to use a material that I made a couple of weeks ago. It's called ceramic orange material, which is this one. And I think this one could work really nice. Yeah, you guys can download it from here, from CGMood if you want. For my patrons, they can download this from my Patreon. And yeah, let's create the material. So I'm going to use an Corona physical material, and to this I'm going to apply a texture from Corona bitmap. And I will load the ceramic diffuse. This is going here. This is quite a big texture. It is 2 by 2 meters, I think. I'll just use here 200 by 200. I will just apply this correctly now. If you can see, but there is a repetition in here, and in the moment that I did the array, I can have different IDs in here. So I can have IDs from 1 to, I don't know, 20, let's say. In this way, each tile is gonna get a different ID, and to check that I can use another editable poly on top of this. And now, as you can see, I can check the ID of this tile is 4 and the ID of this one is 10, so I have different IDs. This means that I can use an UVV randomizer map, so I can randomize my texture on each tile. And to do that, you just need to go here and take the UVV Corona mapping randomizer is called now, and I will just add this in here. And I can use an offset, I can use an different offset on the V. I can also rotate the texture if I want to on X and Y, but I need it only on the Z, and I can also scale it, and I can randomize each tile. So yeah, I can do many things. I'll just add 1 and 1 in here for now. And the cool part is that you can also add additional outputs to this. So if I have in here also another texture, which is the specular, I can add this in here, and this is going to the base roughness, and as you can see, it's already getting some reflection in there. And then I can have also Corona normal in here and add this to the bump. I just need to add also the Corona normal texture, and as you can see, I already have it in there. The only problem is that Corona normal, you always need to take that in mind. To have that in mind is to have a gamma input. And now if I go to 8, add a white thing in here. Let me just also make the custom one, because I want to have this square. And I will start, save this. Now let me check. And we have our 3D model in here. I see a repetition, as you can see, and we can fix that in the material. And let's see, the mapping randomizer. It's coming from here and it's with tile ID. It didn't work out. Let's see the primitive. Now it's fixed. As you can see, these two are in different position and here I don't have them. So yeah, it's all fixed, which is good. So I have only the offset. I can also rotate this to 359 degrees from 0 to 359. Scale I don't care about. If I really want, I can also change how much reflection do I have in here by changing the color of the specular. So to do that you can just add the Corona color correct, and because this material is a physical material, what is white less reflective and what is black is more reflective. So if I want to add more, I need to add less exposure in here. So in this way I'm gonna get more reflection. Most of the time these ceramic tiles, they have a thin layer on top of them, and to help them stay better in time against the rain, so they are a little bit reflective. So this should be totally fine. Now depends a lot on how big do you want to have this texture. So as you can see, I have all the details that I need. The texture is looking very nice. I could make it smaller if I want to. Let me see, change the size of it. Just make it 150 by 150. I need to make all of them. Fortunately, it's not like in V-Ray. I think V-Ray and Corona, they should copy each other a little bit more. So all the good parts from one program should go also on the other one, because in V-Ray you have the size directly in here in the mapping randomizer. It's V-Ray randomizer, I think called, and you can change the size directly from here. So you changed for all of them at once. Okay, so what we need to do is to start from here and to end here, and to start from this one and end in here. The size of this, it's gonna be a little bit hard to do all of that directly in 3D Studio Max to have exactly the size, but I'm gonna do the crop in Photoshop afterwards. But what do I need to export from here is the diffuse. What I need to do in here is to also add the normal and the height map. So the height map is the most important map because we're gonna use that as a displacement. So first of all, yeah, let's add a camera in here, and to add the camera in here we're gonna use camera that is called the free camera from cameras, the standard free, and I'm gonna add this in here like this. And this camera, I need to move it on the height of the tiles, and I will go to this camera now. And now I will select the camera and go in the properties of the camera. I'm gonna use this as an orthographic projection, and I don't know if you can see, but I can actually move it around here, and now I have almost a perfect tiling. And now I will add a Corona cam on top of this, Corona camera mode, to be sure that it's everything fine and to make it work with the Corona. And now I will start a quick render to see how it's looking, and it's all looking good. I don't know if it's big enough, this texture. I could even make it bigger, but for now what we need to do is to add a Z-depth in here. I'll go to F10, and here I'm gonna go geometry Z-depth, and I will also add a normal geometry. And on the Z-depth I'm gonna go from here till here, so I will check the height of this, and that is 19 millimeters. Okay, and I will go to my camera and add in here 19 millimeters. And let's check. If I go to my Z-depth, I have the height camera. So right now, because as you can see, we have a gradient in here from this point to this point to this point, from this point to this point, a black and white gradient. In the moment that I'm going to use this as a displacement in Corona or V-Ray or any other program, I'm gonna have these waves of tiles. So this is quite nice to have. Then let's see the geometry. This is the normal, which is looking also very nice, as you can see. We can add here another texture. So this is normal geometry, and we can add another one, the normal's shading. And now I can have also the shading in here. but yeah, we're gonna use this one, and I will add in here also the normal dot product, which is this one, and we're going to use this on creating our final texture. And we can add in here also the source color, and this is going to bring our source color texture, which is a little bit darker than what we have in the material, but we can fix it afterwards. So it's important just to have it, because this is our texture, so this is different than the beauty. As you can see, the beauty is already illuminated and has some shadows in here, but this is just the texture, the material, the color, the diffuse. Okay, so what else we need in here is a reflection, and we can have that as a reflect, or we can go here on the shading source color and use the reflect. And if I do that, this is the reflection camera, the reflection map. So as you can see, because it's quite dark, it means that it's going to reflect a lot. Okay, so I'll just leave this on the diffuse. I can also add a reflect in here, but this is going to be a different one. It's going to be the one that is also affected by the position of the tiles. So this is going to be a little bit different, but it could be also nice. But as you can see, it's not the same thing as the other one. So I'm just going to delete it, and I will add another source color in here. Now we'll use this one as a reflect. I'll stop this, start all over again, and now I have one source color and the shading, the diffuse, and then this normal dot product, and we're going to use this as an ambient occlusion to add more details to our final texture. Then the normal shading, we're not going to use it. We're going to use the normal geometry, because I don't want to have any type of crazy, most time this texture of crazy reflection. Most time this type of texture you get it from creating a texture directly in Photoshop or any other program that is creating normals. Then we have the Z depth, which is the most important one, and the beauty, which also has the reflection in it, as you can see, and also the shadows. So we're not going to use this one, but I'm still going to render it. And now what we need to see if these are going okay. So it looks fine, probably okay. And now we need a size of this texture, so let's render that. I'm gonna make this 8K, so it's 8000 here, and let's check how it's actually looking. Oh, then we have a small problem in the corner. We can add 19, because otherwise I'm gonna get those small dark points in there. Okay, as you can see now it's everything fixed. Okay, let's save all of these tiles. Save everything as a JPEG. As you can see here, I have the round tiles added in, so you can see how they are actually looking. And now let's add ours. I'm gonna load my textures. I don't need a gamma input in here, because this is coming with a gamma input already. Okay, and here we have here we can add 19, I think it was. So yeah, as you can see here we have a small corner. This is the repetition of the texture, so this means that our texture is not perfect, but the rest I think is looking good. We need to add a little bit more polygons to get a better look, but other than that I think it's all looking nice. As you can see here is that part, get better quality in here. Can have here 19, and to fix this, yeah, we can fix that in Photoshop by load files into stack. Here you can just go work and load all the textures. at once. And I can make a new crop, because in 3D Studio Max I couldn't see all of this. And I will select the crop. Now I'll check. You can see this is the part. Just move this a little bit here. I need to check also on the other side. Oh yeah, also here. And to be sure that it's everything fine, I will just use 1 and 1 here. In this way, in the moment that I'm going to move this here, it's gonna move on all the directions. The bottom. Now I'm gonna click enter and I'm gonna start saving my textures. So this one, as you can see, we are going to use it as an ambient occlusion. So we'll just call it here Sonia tiles AO. Okay. That one is only the geometry, and this one is also with the shading. So I'm going to use the one with the shading. Sonia normal. Then this one, which is the displacement. Just click on this and add here a displacement. And the last one, which is the diffuse. See, it's exactly the same. Though it was looking much darker in there. I'll call this diffuse. Yeah, this one should be displacement, rename dy, and this is diffuse. Okay, save this. And then this is my source color, what I can create from this one on roughness map. So I will just use on hue and saturation, and I will desaturate this all the way. And now to this one I'm gonna apply I'll just play a little bit and create in here on roughness map. And then I will just save all of this as a PSD. Okay, and now let's load again our maps, the new ones. This is the diffuse, and I'm going to combine this with another map. I'm gonna use this in the base and the other one on the top. And here I'm just going to load the ambient occlusion that we just created, this one. This is going here, and in here I'm just gonna use this as a multiply, and now I'm getting some extra details in here that you can't really see. Okay, and this one, leave it normal now and go in here and take my Saxonia tiles roughness, and probably this is a little bit too reflective, but to fix that we can just add in here Corona color correct, and this can have more exposure. By doing that, it's probably like this. Let's add also the normal, and the last one, the displace. If you want to add some extra details, you can also bring this one as an additional bump. So as you can see here, there are some small details that are not looking that amazing, and these are coming from the fact that here in the performance the screen size is 2 pixels. You can make this smaller. Of course this is gonna take a much longer time to render, and also it's gonna use more from your RAM. But if I'm doing that, if you can see it, but the quality is looking better. So this was the lesson of today. I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to create more videos like this in the future. I hope you learned quite a lot out of this. So let me know in the comments what do you think about this video, if I should make this kind of videos more in the future. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye. So, okay, this was the episode for today. As you could probably saw, this type of technique can be very helpful. It can help you to create any type of textures from any 3D model. So, for example, if you have a floor that you made in 3D Studio Max, you can make that into a texture, as you already saw in this video. Yeah, for those who are following on my Patreon, they can download these textures from there. For the other ones, I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you can download this from CG Mood or 3D Sky. Depends where you have an account. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you didn't do it already. Give it a like if you find it useful. Share it with your friends, and see you in the next one. Bye.